Deadwood Production presents Off the Deep End, Episode 8, The Attic.
April 23rd, 2015. My dearest brother, how does it feel to be dead? I've always wondered. Dear brother, no one could find your body, so they had to bury an empty casket. How fucked up is that? My first ever funeral, yours. Ugh. Dear Asher, it's been 9 months since you died and it still doesn't feel real. You would have liked how much snow we got this winter. The snow and I don't get along, but Jude dragged me out of the house so we could build a snowman in the yard. No snowball fights, though. It's not as fun if I can't beat you at it. You would have been impressed. Mr. Frosty lasted a week before he melted into oblivion. I'm not the one who named him, obviously. But it's nice to spend time with Jude. It's nice to see her smile. It's nice to go outside and not smother myself with your absence. It comes and goes. The grief, I mean. I have to remind myself that you won't be snoring in your room when I wake up in the morning, and you won't be hogging hot showers in the bathroom after school. Between you and me, though, I won't really miss that last bit much. School has been... school. There was this corny-ass assembly the administration threw together at the beginning of the school year to tell everyone you died. The football team seemed pretty broken up about it, but I couldn't tell you if anyone said anything heartfelt. I sure as hell wasn't going to speak in front of the whole student body and pour my heart out. No, I left halfway through. It pissed me off. None of them knew a goddamn thing. What the hell did they know about loss? About how it felt to lose you? Idiots, all of them. They had no fucking clue. On a brighter note, the school let Mom keep your jersey. I hear her cry most nights, but I'm used to it by now. Dad is a different story. You know how he is, man of steel and all that, but I do see him in your room sometimes. I don't think he's cried since the funeral, but more than once he'll hold your shirt or towel or pillowcase to his face when he thinks no one is looking, and he takes a deep inhale. Remember when we were looking at old photos of Dad? You looked just like him, but with more hair. You two had the same birthmark, too. A blotchy thing right on your chin that looked kind of like a scab. I remember how he stared at that photo for a long time, like he was trying to go back in time without leaving his body. I wonder if he's trying to do that now when he smells your things. As if doing so will bring him back in time to try to stop what happened to you. Maybe I should try to take a stab at it. Though with the lack of deodorant in your room, I probably won't. You got lucky. Puberty went soft on you. You got BO and extra inches, and I got horrible cramps that lasted days and a bigger chest than I'd like. That is to say, a chest at all. Yeah, I know, you wouldn't want to know about all the girl stuff I have to go through. Well, how do you think I feel? For your sake, though, I'll change the subject. Guess what yesterday was? Our birthday. You missed our birthday. I was going to be all sentimental and give you a scrapbook that Jude helped me put together. It's all the pictures I took of us last year. Mostly of you, though there's this one old picture of us posing near those statues during our day trip to Fenway Park. You remember that, right, Ash? We were like, what, 7? 8 years old? I had enough hair for Mom to put into puffy pigtails, and we're both cheesing like we just won the lottery. As girly as I look in that Hello Kitty shirt, I love that picture. I put it in the last page of the scrapbook for you with a sappy little note that I didn't let Jude see. It's really some of my best work, honestly. Silly, isn't it? You won't be able to see any of it now. Kind of a waste, huh? What the hell am I supposed to do with it now? And what were you gonna get me? Was it gonna be another arts and crafts project, a woman's basketball jersey, or more film for the camera you got me years ago? Or maybe, maybe you weren't planning on getting me anything at all. How funny would that be? Is that why you died, Asher? Couldn't figure out what the hell to get me and decided to take the easy way out? I'm sorry, that's not fair. It's not even your fault you died. It's mine. But I guess that's not fair either. Miss Ortega said that self-blame when grieving is normal, but I'm not the one who's dead, am I? I'm still alive in this stupid body that I hate, and you... God... It's all so complicated, Ash. When did everything become so complicated? Oh, right. You don't know who Miss Ortega is. Mom and Dad put me in grief counseling after you died, but not immediately after. Don't flatter yourself. They signed me up recently after I stopped eating. Not that big of a deal, honestly. Sue me for not having much of an appetite after everything. The counseling hasn't been too bad. Miss Ortega is nice. We mostly just sit in silence until she yanks a story about you out of me. I think she expects me to bawl my eyes out or something. I hate to disappoint, but I can't bring myself to. You're already dead. What would crying do, you know? I did cry a little at your funeral, if you can believe it. But only because Mom made a scene. Oh, God, she cried. My poor baby. Where's my baby? It ruined me seeing her like that. I was the last person to see you alive. Self-blame has got to start somewhere, I guess. Miss Ortega has been subtly, but not so subtly, trying to get me to talk about what happened to you. It's her job, I get it, but you have to understand something. Talking about you is like pulling teeth. I feel like as soon as I do, you'll just come out of your hiding place and tell me it was all an elaborate prank. The song, the water, the fear in your eyes, the relief, all of it. Fucked up, I know, but it's better than the alternative. Better than you being really, truly dead. So I'm writing this stupid letter instead. And unfortunately for me and you, Ash, it's gonna be a long one. It's more for me than anyone else. Jude doesn't even know, and I've gotten in the habit of telling her everything. Mostly. I'm no storyteller, but I need to get my thoughts straight. So much happened that summer. And if I can't make sense of it through you, then... well... there's always Plan B. 2014. The summer before sophomore year. That time of year, we took our annual trip to the beach house. I never really liked calling it that. It's not remotely near the sand enough. You were more excited than I was. It was the same old shit every year. We go to Oak Bluffs, get a feel for the ocean while Mom and Dad did whatever adults did when their kids were old enough to watch themselves, spend some time in town, build our fortress of doom in the living room, and finish off the week with a cliff jumping contest. The only difference that year was the fact that I wanted no part in our water-related traditions. And I'd brought a friend, Jude. I never got to ask you why you didn't bring your football friends, but I assumed they loved having Wi-Fi too much to say yes to something like that. Jude, though, was as disconnected as teenagers could get in this day and age. I think we both knew she wouldn't mind. The Pioneer itself was old, like something out of an antique shop. Dad told us that it was built sometime in the 1600s, but us Jeffersons didn't own it until the 1890s. Or maybe a little later. Now that I think about it, I probably won't be able to go back to that house ever again. What would be the point if you're not there too, you know? Anyway, the house kind of looked like shit, but it was our shitty house. Chip blue and white paint, splintered wood, drawn curtains. Looking at it, it was spooky as hell. No decorations to speak of either. Not like the other houses. Even if we did put something up, like those shitty doodles you and I made of the beach in 5th grade, we were not artists. It would be gone the next time we came. Go figure. Jude had fallen asleep in the car on the drive there, and while Mom and Dad took it upon themselves to unload the bags, you and I were tasked with getting the front door open. Dad had all these keys for all the rooms in the house. God, remember the sound they made? You would have thought he was a janitor, not a landlord. The house didn't like to open its doors sometimes, even with a key. Us Jeffersons are stubborn as hell, which I guess made the pioneer one of us. But the front door didn't give us any trouble this time. Like a yawn, the door creaked open without me turning the key. We shared a look and came to the same conclusion. The last tenants left the door open. Dad was pissed when you told him. Guest or no guest, he started cursing up a storm. God damn it, he said. God fucking damn it. Jude, of course, picked the worst time to wake up from her nap. She looked so mortified it was kind of funny. I'm still not sure if it was the swearing or the word God in proximity to the swearing. Knowing her, it was probably both. Mom calmed Dad down the way she always did and persuaded him to go see how bad the damage was, if there was any, and the rest of us followed suit. The best thing about the Pioneer was that it never changed. Its large foyer, the heart of the house, was a home away from home. Even when things changed, the house made sure I knew about it. Yeah, you heard me. The house can talk. Well, not with words, but I can understand it. It chose to talk to me, Ash. Pathetic 14-year-old me. The floor rippled when I went in, as if my footsteps had disturbed its pool of a surface. It was a message, a greeting, just for me.
Hey to you too, House.
I know how it sounds. It sounds batshit crazy, and I know for a fact you would have given me that dumb, confused look if I ever told you. But it's true. I guess I should be more freaked out or scared, maybe. I'm no architect, but houses don't normally do that sort of thing. Obviously. But that's the thing, Ash. It wasn't a normal house. The Pioneer watched us grow up. From the time we raced each other in its halls when we were 6, to when I nearly fell off the balcony when I was 10, until now. It makes sense that it's nice to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly thrilled about inheriting a magical house, but if it's benevolent, that's probably a good sign, right? The house seemed weirdly tense, impatient. I could tell it didn't know what to make of Jude being there. I don't know how I knew, though. I just did.
Is it always this cold in here?
Probably left the AC on too, Dad muttered. Damn bastards. Weird, he said. I don't feel a thing. Meanwhile, I was sweating bullets. Wearing a thick hoodie in the middle of July was the dumbest move I could have made, but I didn't complain. I wasn't going to take it off. We gave Jude a tour of the place. In other words, I gave her a tour while you claimed the good bed for yourself. Asshole. We bickered about it because of course we did, but honestly, I don't remember what was said. Jude was smiling though, so at least she was entertained. Jude is really something else. Jude with her cross necklace and no siblings of her own. Jude with her super religious parents and her ocean blue eyes and cute little hair clips. You know, before we met her, I thought kids being homeschooled was something Hollywood made up for movies. I can't help but think how lonely that must be. Oh, it's not like public school is much better. You were the one who told Jude she wasn't missing much so she wouldn't feel left out. You were nice like that. While Mom and Dad searched for other things that might be out of place, I brought Jude upstairs along with our bags. She walked as if she was being watched. I'm sure you noticed that too. She looked like she wanted to say something, but she waited until we were alone to say it.
Your dad is, really expressive.
Sorry, he's not usually like that.
It's okay. This place is a lot bigger than I thought it'd be. It's like those mansions on TV.
I don't think it's that big. Wait, you watch TV?
During my regulated TV watching times, yes. Don't make that face. It's not as bad as it sounds.
I'm gonna be honest, Jude, that sounds pretty bad. There's no Wi-Fi, so if you brought your phone, you might have to use your data or whatever.
That's okay. My mom put extra minutes on my phone before I left. Actually, now that I'm here, I should probably check in with her so she knows I didn't die on the way.
She took out her sidekick phone and texted her mom. I stopped cringing after I saw it the first times, but still. Was it a Christian thing to not let your kid have a smartphone?
Hey, this place can be weird and disorienting at first, but you'll get used to it. You still cold?
A little, but I'm okay.
We have extra blankets if you need it.
You made your territory on the good bed, and I pretended not to be mad about it. I gave you the second best bed like a gentleman, and I got what was left. Mom twisted our hair for the trip, and you wanted shaved sides, so she obliged. Your locks were in a mohawk, and you had your J.V. Letterman jacket on. It was a size too big, but somehow you made it work. Your bed, the one with less bugs, was on the right side of the room. Jude's was on the left, and mine was in the middle in full view of the glass doors leading to the balcony. Better luck next time, you said. Jackass. You were taller than most kids our age, and you looked like the black version of the jock in the Breakfast Club, but with nerdy-ass glasses. Yes, I watched the Breakfast Club with you, and it was actually kind of decent, sue me. And then there was me, a less cool version of the basket case girl without the weird makeover at the end. Chubby, short, and drowning in my favorite cotton hoodie. You wouldn't think we were twins at first glance. Most people didn't even know we were related until we were standing next to each other. And yet Mom got us mixed up all the time. Maybe that was just a mom thing, though. Speaking of which, I never told you this, but my mom had the idea of giving Jude and I the spare room so you could have a room on your own. You would have jumped at the chance, I'm sure, but I shut it down immediately. Sure, we're both girls and we've been friends for almost 2 years, but none of that mattered. It was embarrassing. Mom didn't understand why. I don't even understand why, if I'm being honest. So you were stuck with us indefinitely for a whole week. Lucky you. That first night was uneventful. Your snoring and Jude's drawing kept me up, filling the silence. Jude's drawings were really good. Creepy as hell, but good. I watched her for a while. The moonlight from the window illuminated part of her pale face. And as corny as it sounds, Ash, I wondered if she'd ever drawn a self-portrait. I'd seen her draw beautiful things before. Maybe she had.
Can't sleep?
Not really. How are you liking the house so far?
It's nice and kind of spooky. I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
She smiled, and for whatever reason, it made my stomach hurt. The pioneer, talkative as ever, seemed to almost bend at her compliment. I found Jude staring up at the ceiling the next morning, sketchbook under her arm. I'd just gotten out of the bathroom, and suddenly I saw her just standing there, in a trance.
Stop! What the? Dude, Jude, how long have you been there?
Huh? Sorry, I was just looking. I didn't know you had an attic.
There was a hatch with a string tied to the handle on the ceiling, one that definitely wasn't there before.
We don't.
Jude and I looked at each other, confused. Jude pulled it down before I could stop her, and a mini staircase dropped down in a heap of dust. It was dark up there, but I know what I saw, Ash. It was an attic. A chill went down my spine. I took a step back. I wanted you there, Asher. I wanted to drag you along with us to confirm that this was just a trick of the light. That we never had an attic at all, and this was just some, I don't know, mass hallucination? But you were getting a feel for the ocean, doing your usual laps. You had your morning routine, and I had mine. Besides, Jude had already pulled me up the steps. It was too late now. The supposed attic was small. It looked like a study for the most part. The only things of note were the bookshelves filled with dusty books on architecture organized by volume, a blue armchair, and a bed that was permanently unmade under a slanted ceiling. And in the middle of it all was Jude and I.
Bless you.
Thanks. Strange. It looks so lived in.
Probably not in years. I made it my mission to explore every inch of this place when my family first came here. I don't remember seeing any attic. I don't think it's supposed to be here.
Maybe you missed it. Looks like it's been here for a while. Or maybe the house hid it away.
Maybe the house hid it away. Hey, Ash, remember when we were 6 and we played hide and seek in that house and I couldn't find you? I damn near flipped the whole house upside down looking for you, but no matter where I looked, the front yard, the backyard, in and behind the washer and dryer, you were nowhere to be found. I gave up after a while and you revealed yourself after I helped Mom set the table for dinner. You were so goddamn happy. I asked where you'd been hiding and you told me there was a closet next to the laundry room where you huddled in for hours, waiting to be found. I demanded that you show me this closet, but when you did, all there was an empty wall. No door, no handle. I told you to stop making things up. You already won the game. Why lie? I'm not lying. I swear I was there a second ago, you promised. I couldn't be convinced. Mom and Dad didn't see a closet either. There never was one to begin with. I don't know if you remember that day, but I did. I still do.
Maybe. Let me go get my camera.
I came back to Jude looking at some framed photos on the wall. I snapped some pictures of the room. If this attic wasn't meant to exist, then I at least wanted proof that I wasn't completely losing it. The framed photos were a bunch of sketches, rough blueprints of the house, the different rooms and general layout of the floor plan. I took pictures of it all. I still have them. The photos. There were rooms I'd never been in before. A pantry, a basement, a nursery. A tiny, almost unnoticeable closet. Right beside the laundry room. The floor tilted under my feet. My head swam. Why was I only seeing this now? Was the house trying to tell me something? Tell us something? Did the house talk to you too, Asher? Will you have told me if it did? I should have done the smart thing and left. But I told myself that if the pioneer had a habit of closing off rooms at will, then I wasn't going to leave Jude there alone. Wouldn't be much of a good host if I did, much less a good friend. But to be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. Jude was focused on one thing in particular by the bed. A sepia-washed image of two young boys, identical. The photo was yellowing with age. Part of it was torn off. The boy on the left was well-dressed and wore glasses, standing rigidly and looking forward with hooded eyes. He looked serious, or bored maybe, and would have looked older than he was if his teenage acne didn't give him away. The boy on the right had dirt patches on his clothes and his cheeks were smeared with grime, though he was in the exact same outfit as his brother, down to his shorts, shoes, and socks. He had a small scar above his eyebrow and he smiled wide, showing off his gapped front teeth. His side of the photo was faded, so I couldn't make out more than the obvious details. But he leaned against his brother's shoulder and his eyes were closed in glee. On the bottom of the portrait were two names scrawled in two different styles. Their handwriting. Clayton and Abel Jefferson, age 13.
Who are they?
My great uncles, I think? My grandpa Seth's brothers?
Oh, wow. They look like twins.
They are. The twin thing runs in my family. I don't think my dad actually met them.
Really?
Nah.
I had asked Dad what they were like for an elementary school project. Family tree stuff. He got really sad, which wasn't like him. And then he got angry, which was exactly like him. And he sent me to my room. The only time I'd seen Dad shed a tear was when Grandpa Seth passed away a few years ago. He didn't let any of us come, which was weird. Your funeral had good food at least, Ash, but it still sucked. Don't take it personally.
I could bug him about it again later, but I think we should...
Wait,
What?
there's more books under the bed. Hold on.
Careful, Jude.
Something under the wood. I've almost got it.
My head started to buzz. Static. Jude peeled back the splintered wood, breaking off a part of it by accident. Nails punctured my skin and tore through it. Jude dropped the plank of wood to the side. I swear I felt it in my chest like my own heartbeat. I stumbled forward, just one step. I hardly recognized it as my own. What was I going to do? Stop her? How would I even explain to her that it felt like she was slowly ripping off my fingernails? Nothing like that had happened before. The pioneer was worming its way under my skin, Asher. Its pain was mine to hold for as long as it made me.
Got it. I thought it was a book, but look at the... What's wrong? Why are you crying?
I'm not. I'm fine. Is it like the other books?
No, it's a... Are you sure you're all right?
I'm good, Jude. I'm good.
Okay. Well, it's a journal. Just look at the cover.
The hidden book was leather-bound with the name Abel horrifically carved on the front. Jude handed it over to me, and I held it. The first entry was from 100 years ago. Can you believe that? A piece of our relative still alive in that book. One neither of us got to meet. I still have it. I hid it in my bag when we left. No one but Jude knows it exists. Not Mom, not Dad, and not the police. They came an hour later after everything to look for your body. It was such a waste of time. You were already long gone by then, weren't you? If I can find it, I'll read it to you. Or copy it down for you, I guess. Great Uncle Abel's handwriting gets kind of weird towards the end. You'll see. Until then, I'm gonna take a break. All this remembering is making my head hurt. For the record, though, Ash, I wish you could have been 15 with me. I lied before. I do miss your morning showers. They're never going to happen again, and I don't know. I miss yelling at you to hurry up. I miss seeing traces of you. I miss knowing you existed at all. Mom and Dad barely say your name these days, and I can't fucking stand it. I said before that this letter is for me, but that's not really true. It's for you, too. If, by chance, you're a ghost and you're thinking of haunting me, just know I'm doing my best to keep what's left of you alive. But I also wouldn't mind if you did. Haunt me, that is. It's the least you can do. Asshole.
Entry 27, July 11th, 1914. I want to start off by saying, Journal, that even though Clay and I turned 14 a week ago, I don't feel that much older than I did before. Papa said 14 was the age when boys become men, and I don't think Clay cared for it. I wanted to ask Papa when boys were supposed to stop feeling young, but I didn't know how to shape the words right. Clay would be better for the task. He's good with words. I don't remember ever seeing him without a book in his face. I don't know how he does it. Books are boring. It makes me feel a little better knowing Clay doesn't want to be a man yet either. I never understood why we had to grow up so fast, why we had wars, and I never hated anyone enough to want to hurt them with a gun. If that's what being a man was all about, I don't want any part of it. Although, it is hard not to hate people sometimes, especially when things get worse after daring to be hateful right back. Don't pay them white folks any mind, Mama would say. As long as you keep your distance, the hateful ones will too. But they never did. At least not the brave ones. I think even she knows that. I remember when Clay and I were playing in our yard, age 12, when a group of white boys threw rocks at us and called us things I won't repeat as they passed us on their bikes. They were on the baseball team and a grade above us. They had good arms. A rock caught the side of my head. Another cracked a lens in Clay's glasses. Those boys hated the sight of us, Journal. There's nothing more to say than that. Clay kept his fist clenched until they were gone. I asked Clay then if he was okay, and he gave me a look I didn't know how to read. Then he burst into tears, and I went inside to tell Mama what happened. She muttered something under her breath, something about how things were supposed to be different now. This is Georgia all over again, Mama said quietly. She wasn't talking to either of us. Lord knows the North ain't supposed to be like this. Then she wrapped us in her arms and kissed our foreheads in that sweet way mamas do. Clay didn't stop crying, though. He didn't stop crying for a while that day. Papa says Mama babies us too much, especially Clay. I knew that integrated school was too good to be true, he said. You'll need to start teaching those boys tough love, Celia. You won't be around forever. Then I started crying, thinking about Mama not being around forever. Mama frowned at him and told him, "Let me do what I do best, Adam," and held us closer. I don't think either of us wanted to know a world without Mama in it. I guess my main point is, Journal, I don't feel like I'm fully a man yet. Maybe I'll never be. How long does something like that take anyway? I don't know why Papa is in such a rush for us to grow up. Didn't he wish he was a boy for just a little longer? If I could, I'd be a boy forever. I'd like that very much. Entry 28, July 11th, 1914. With all my talk of manhood, I forgot to mention, Papa took us on a trip. At first, I thought Papa was simply taking us out of town. The air hasn't been too sticky these past few days. Today's been manageable. But Clay figured out where we were actually going. A vacation house on the island of Martha's Vineyard. I should have known something was up when Papa ordered us to pack a bag. He allowed us to pack only one, though Mama got to pack two. Clay said it was for lady stuff, but I hope she brought some board games we could play. Papa told us all about the house when we drove here. Grandfather was given land and a house because no white man wanted it. The house and the land around it was tainted, they said. Papa said it made sense. The white man always gave us the leftovers. Papa hadn't been back since he was me and Clay's age. "It's about time we got you two out of the suburbs," Papa said. "When your aunt and I were young, we occupied our time just fine in the great outdoors. The life we've given you boys is a nice one, no doubt, but it's made you soft." Only I saw Clay roll his eyes. Mama made a big to-do about Papa being too hard on us. She talked like we weren't behind them in the very same car. Clay and I said nothing, and Papa continued. "It's true. They're men now, Celia. It's time we gave them the space to act like it and get some damn calluses on their hands." Mama tried to reason with him, but Papa wasn't the kind of man that could be reasoned with. Not even by Mama. I spoke up and asked what we'd be doing to get calluses, and Papa listed a couple things. Splitting wood for fire, for one, building a tree house, and learning how to swim properly. He said it was important for men like us to know God's earth like the backs of our hands. "The sooner you learn how to survive in this world, the better," Papa said. Clay, for the first time since we got in the car, spoke. "What if we don't want to do any of that?" I wanted to ask him which part he meant, but Papa spoke back. "Well, boy, that's too damn bad," he said, and Clay didn't talk for the rest of the ride. You should know something, Journal. Clay has been mean lately, mostly to me. It doesn't bother me much, not always, but he's been back-talking Papa too, and Papa's the type of man that doesn't take children talking back standing up or sitting down. A few weeks ago, Papa was scolding Clay on something or another. I'm usually the one who gets most of the scolding, and Clay isn't like me, Journal. He has glass under his skin. Too much force will break him. If he gets scolded, Mama comes to his rescue and wipes his tears before Papa's harsh words can fully sink in. I don't know what he said to Papa, but it had earned him Papa's backhand. Clay's cheek was red for days after that, and Mama and Papa kept yelling at each other. Clay is the smartest between us, but he's become different. I have no clue when it started or why, just that he's different, and he aimed to make me as miserable as he was. Well, Journal, I refuse to let him sour my mood. Unlike him, I plan to make the most of the manly tasks Papa has given us, whether I'm ready for them or not. I hadn't seen it before now, but maybe Papa's right. Mama is soft on Clay. She's soft on me too, but between you and me, Journal, I think Clay needs it a lot more. Entry 29, July 12, 1914. I took it upon myself to explore every inch of our vacation house, and was very unhappy to find anything even remotely interesting. As it was, I was unhappy to be rooming with the moody Clay. But he didn't bother me at all yesterday. He had his nose in a big book he'd gotten from our school library, the Odyssey. The exterior of the house only had strips of patch of dead grass, trees with ingrown roots, overgrown weeds, and a dark tree line into the woods. That and the small second-floor balcony that protruded out of the house like a funny nose. I expected a flower garden, a shed full of tools, or at least a tire swing, but I found none of that. I'm ashamed to admit that I have a slight fear of the woods. Not even the sunlight could brighten the woodlands, but something in them called to me, beckoned me within a cold but gentle wind, waving me in. And Journal, I almost followed the call. but Mama hollered for me before I could. Was this really where Pop spent his childhood? There wasn't even a walkable path into the woods. At least none that I could see. What could he and Auntie have done for fun other than get on each other's nerves? Maybe Clay and I building our own treehouse would do us some good. Give us both something to do.
Entry 30, July 12, 1914.
Unsurprisingly, Journal, I found nothing worthy to report in the house's interior either. The rooms were old, built even before Grandfather's time, but there was nothing. I was hoping for some sort of crawl space or a secret passage in the walls that I could occupy my time in. But there was no such thing, only dust and uninhibited cobwebs. And what a way to waste the day. Before I knew it, Journal, the sun dimed into the cloudless sunset, and I exhausted myself with all the nothing I found. After dinner, though, while Clay and I lounged around in the living room waiting for Mama's sweet potato pie to cool down, he said something quite interesting to me. "Why don't you explore the basement?" he said. He was reading passively on an old armchair. He never wanted anything to do with my expeditions. I asked him what basement. I mean, Journal, I searched every part of this blasted house. If there was a basement, I'd be the first to know about it. But it was clear I couldn't find anything interesting on my own, so I listened. "I don't see why you would, though," Clay continued. "We're supposed to be men now. Only children play." I gave him a shove in response. "All I'm saying is that Papa wouldn't think it very manly of you," he said. "As it stands, he doesn't like your childish games much at all." I told him Papa didn't like him much at all, and he put his book down and shoved me back. His eyes went dark with fury. I'd hit a nerve. "I hope you get trapped on one of your little adventures and starve to death," he said, and for a moment he scared me. It really sounded like he meant it. Like a game of catch, we called each other names. I was an ignoramus according to Clay, and I couldn't come up with anything better than that, so I shoved him, harder than the first. He was so much taller than me, but it was easy to pull him from his seat and start a proper fight on the ground right then and there. We weren't new to tussling, but this was our worst fight yet. I bit his arm and dug my teeth into him. He got free and slapped me clean across the face. While I was stunned, he got the upper hand and tried to hit me with the Odyssey, managing to slam its hardcover against my shoulder. It still hurts even as I lie in bed now. We wrestled, gave each other matching bruises, the whole 9 yards, our stomachs cramping from our supper. The fight ceased when Mama pulled us apart. Clay's glasses got a little crooked in the fray. "What's this all about?" Mama demanded. Neither of us said a word. "Let them fight, Celia," Papa interjected from the kitchen. His mouth was full, probably from the sweet potato pie. "It's good for him. Real men are meant to fight, goddammit." Clay's face twisted into something ugly, and he stomped upstairs without a word. And since I was the only one left, I was sent to bed without dessert, even though Mama knew her homemade pie was my all-time favorite. Clay is still under his covers even as I'm writing this in what little moonlight there is left. He's been quiet since I came up here, and I feel too guilty to sleep just yet. But what am I supposed to do, Journal? Apologize first? I always do that. I didn't mean what I said about Papa not liking him. It was a nasty thing to say, and it didn't feel good to say it. Although, between you and me, Journal, I don't know if I'm completely wrong.
Episode 8 features Ricky Clairvoyant as narrator, Pollux as young Cain, Alyssa Roldan as young Judith, and Darian as Abel. Deadwood is a podcast written and created by Saniyah Hill and co-produced by Makenna Fulgham. This episode was co-written and edited by Daniela Vega Labrador, J.E Berkowsky, and Meaghan McDonald. The audio editing was by Doodles. The music is by Julius H., and the lovely cover art is by Scinna. You can find Deadwood on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Bluesky, or you can send a message to our email at deadwoodpod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. The beginning starts at the end.